Hey, welcome to an episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Henry's joining us after a long lull.
Yes, glad to be here. Back on Chad's Beer Reviews, which is the best beer review channel.
Duh. We're drinking a beer that's pretty highly acclaimed. In fact, we don't even need to bother reviewing it since we already know it's... let's just go ahead and give it a 10 now.
Right, I heard a guy at Mahar's talking about how awesome this beer was, and I don't really know the guy, but he seemed to know about beer.
Yeah, you were in the bathroom, he was standing outside the door.
Right, but I do know he had a handlebar mustache, so he must have been cool.
Yeah.
So obviously anything we think about this beer is just stupid,
yeah.
You know.
I've only had one other beer from Great Divide. It was their IPA, which is pretty good. And they have this series of stouts called Yeti. Like there's the Yeti, the Oak Aged Yeti, and the chocolate Oak Aged Yeti, and there's also an espresso Oak Aged Yeti. We're doing the chocolate today.
I've had no other Yeti, so this will be my first Yeti experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a giant snow monster will show up and we'll have a beer. It'll be awesome.
Stout aged on oak chips with cocoa nibs and spice added. 9.5% alcohol by volume. Bottled on May 10th. Says, welcome
Awesome.
Welcome to the newest incarnation of our revered Imperial Stout. We toned down the hops a bit to allow cocoa nibs to contribute some pleasing bitterness, while vanilla notes from the oak combined with the cocoa to create an aroma and flavor akin to a gourmet chocolate bar. A dash of cayenne keeps things lively, adding just a bit of heat to the finish. A Yeti for summer? Hell yes! Oh wait, I'm not supposed to hold it up to the light.
Oh yeah.
I overheard that at a bar too, so...
Right, we should only view beer in dark, candlelit environments.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much here.
Check out that head. That is like mud. Well, mine is.
No, mine is too.
I know how
It's
to
just
pour a
small.
beer.
Right, I don't know how to pour a beer.
After 900 and something beers at
Yes,
bars.
I'm deficient when it comes to beer pouring.
know.
Well, you never know. I'm gentle because some beers freak out on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bobby Fischer didn't know how to read a Subway map either, so.
Oh, there you go.
So how's it smell? Very chocolatey.
Yeah, it smells. Chocolate is the primary aroma. There are spice notes. It doesn't really smell like beer.
No, it's not even really all that aromatic.
Right.
It's actually very mild in the nose.
It might still be a little bit colder than optimum, but...
I mean, the only thing I can compare it to is kind of like the Young's Double Chocolate in a bottle.
Yeah, it's...
You definitely,
it
I
has
don't
a-
smell any booze.
There's the dark chocolate aroma underneath, and there's a sort of light spice note coming up over it, but... Yeah, in terms of actual beer aroma...
I'm smelling hops in here. It's almost a little citrusy. You smell
Yeah,
that?
I can't tell if that's the spice they've added or actual hops though.
I guess we'll find out. Cheers. Oh yeah. That's what I look for in a chocolate beer.
It tastes great.
Yeah.
This has the deliciousness of your standard sort of non-chocolate added chocolate stout, or the dark coffee-like flavor of some oatmeal stouts, but then picked up and pulled further by real chocolate.
I did notice the kind of woody whiskey kind of taste in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real that complements the chocolate really well.
Yeah.
And they mentioned the cayenne, and like it's more in the aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's like if you ate something really spicy. You know, it's like that taste that's in your mouth like a half hour later. You know.
The exhalation as I breathe out through my nose, that's where I'm getting the oak. It's very woody and with whiskey notes as I just let that flow out.
It's just a bitter. It's like a soft kind of bitterness. You know, it's not like the IPA bitterness that's like if it's like a sharp knife. You know, this is like it's like a real kind of gentle bitterness that kind of creeps because chocolate is naturally bitter.
Yeah. Well, they talk about the cocoa nubs right in the description, or cocoa nibs.
Nubs. You're a nub. Alright, well we're going to sip on this some more and we'll come back with our final thoughts. Okay, we're back. You want to go first with your final thoughts?
Sure. I think this beer is good. As I've gotten further into it, I don't think that, we were talking about this when we were gone, about the hiding of the alcohol. I think that the alcohol here is a prominent feature. And in some ways, while that's good, contributing to the whiskey flavor, it's also the opposite of refreshing. This beer is an essence unto itself, and it's got some cayenne notes that linger in the afterthought that are pleasing. It really isn't refreshing, and it's stepping a little bit outside of the realm of what I would consider beer. What I would look for in beer. So I want to give this an 8. It's good. I don't think it's top notch. It was better when I first started drinking it. Now, a little bit less so. Chad?
I'm going to go a little higher than you. I'm actually going to go 10 on this one.
Perfect score.
And it's just as a disclaimer here is, if you've been watching me since the beginning, it's like you know I like chocolate stouts. So obviously I'm waving a flag here. I am biased towards chocolate stouts. So obviously I'm going to like this a little more than you.
Yeah. No, I like chocolate stouts.
But to get to the actual facts of it is, let me argue why. It's really tasty. I like the chocolate taste. It's similar to Young's in a Bottle, Southern Tier Chocolate, a lot of other, you know, more non-imperial chocolate stouts I've had. That nice taste. I think it does a good job of covering the 9.5, which actually 9.5 isn't even, like, I guess I've reached a point where, like, that's not even really that high for me anymore.
But do you want, I mean, you brought up refreshing. Do you want to cover the alcohol?
Well, I don't really get alcohol. I mean, I get like the nice whiskey, smoky, woody thing, and like that cayenne pepper is a nice twist.
It is, and as it's warmed up with the chocolate,
yeah,
we're getting a lot more cayenne.
Yeah, and we should, like, it's not like it's a Chipotle actual pepper beer. It's just it's just a tiny little thing in the aftertaste to make it. It's enough to make it stand out from your other Imperial chocolates, and it's not. This isn't a Russian Imperial. It's just a regular old Imperial. And as far as drinkability, I mean, like you can literally gulp this down. Like it's not like it's not so boozy or spicy that it's like you can only sip it. I can take this in big gulps. I mean, I wouldn't want to because I like to savor it, you know. But yeah, it's definitely one of the better chocolate stouts I've had. It's not as good as it's not as good as Southern Tier Chocolate, but it's a damn good beer on its own. I really like it, so I'm gonna go 10 out of 10. Okay. Outstanding. You're saying 8 out of 10.
It is a novel 8. That means it's good. Look, 8 is good, folks.
Very good.
Yeah, 8 is very good. But yeah, some of it is novelty. I wouldn't want to drink this every day, and
well, I wouldn't either.
When it comes to novelty, I've had better.
Yeah.
So 8.
Now, by novelty, do you mean gimmicky or just
No, I don't know.
Uniqueness.
There's a fine line between gimmicky and novel.
Right.
We start getting into some weird stuff here. Like, oh look, I brewed a beer with cucumber and lemon. Oh my gosh. You know, I mean, I don't want to make it like that. But
alright, well, but either way, we do like the beer.
Yeah, this is good.
And it's a nice change of pace for the summer because we've been drinking, you know, IPAs and
for a summer stout.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
The fact they actually made a point
that's
of saying that it's
not going to refresh you, but the spiciness of the beer will be at least fun on a hot day.
Yeah, I mean, have it as an after dinner beer. So, I guess it about wraps it up for this episode. Thanks to Henry for coming out.
Hey, glad to be here, and don't forget to have an amount of it.
That is right.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Reviews. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.